Baruchim habaim, baruchot habaot. Welcome. It's Rosh Hashanah. Come and celebrate the new year. To you and to all whom you hold dear, a happy, peaceful new year. May God's blessings shine upon you, and may your fondest hopes come true in the coming year. L'shana tova. Baruchim habaim, baruchot habaot. Welcome.
Amen.
Welcome everybody. This is the birthday of the world, birthday of creation, birthday of humankind. We're going to start in the middle of page 6. Is this on? Okay. Hashivenu, Hashivenu, Adonai Elecha, and the second song down there is Havana Shira, which is also a round. I think they determined that it was written by Papa Haydn. And I'd heard originally Mozart, but either one of them it could have been. Havana Shira, Shir Hallelujah. 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 This wonderful voice is Irene Cohen. And she's a member of my synagogue. She spends most of her year in Puerto Vallarta. But luckily we have her for the high holidays.
Always.
Okay.
With me on page 7. Summer's gone, nights grow cold. These are the days of awe the shofar blows. With bread in hand, down to the sea we take time, give thanks, and cast out our sadness free. That we may start fresh, that we may come clear, that we may know sweetness and peace throughout the year, that we may find love where we need it most, and open our hearts and hands, and draw each other close. A day to fast and count the ways we promised and fallen short. We meet each other's gaze. Begin again, life won't wait. Time turns and we return and walk on through the gates. Under the moon, a roof of trees, we bring the harvest,
beneath the stars we eat,
and sing for joy, make ourselves strong, we'll reap what we sow, may it last all year long. That we may start fresh, that we may come clear, that we may know sweetness and peace throughout the year, that we may find love where we need it most, and open our hearts and hands and draw each other close.
Page 9 is a song written by Debbie Friedman, but I don't have it with me and I didn't bring it, so we'll read it together as one. The time is now, we've gathered round, so bring all your gifts and bring all your burdens with you. No need to hide, arms open wide, we gather as one to make a Makom Kadosh. We come to tell, we come to hear, we come to teach, to learn, we come to grow, and so we say, the time is now. Sing to one, God's presence is here. Shekhinah, you will dwell among us. We'll make this space a holy place, so separate, so whole. Rejoice every soul who enters here. Read together the number 1 at the top of the page on 10.
Creation's brightest light, the mystics say, was hidden at the dawn of time. But on this sacred night, this night of hope and joy, a glimmer of that light is here. In candles flame, in children's eyes, in eyes aglow with wisdom's light. It shines in the faces of the ones we love, in grateful hearts, in tears of loss. It lives in memories of goodness and in our own desire to do right, to try again, to build anew, to ask forgiveness and make peace. We enter this new year and look upon the beauty of these lights, so may the days of awe renew the light within us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under the heaven. Your turn. We're on page 12.
This is the season of the soul, a time to rejoice, a time to reflect, a time to return. Read with me.
A time
to
to
gather around the table with loved ones and friends.
A time for song and silence, for prayer and confession to open the heart. A time to retreat to our sanctuaries within. A time to renew the life and spirit of our community.
This is a season of attentiveness, a time to notice what has unfolded and what is not. A time to regret, a time to forgive, a time to remember cherished dreams and high ideals erased by reality.
This is a season of hope, like mist rising at sunset, like dew descending at dawn. Our hopes beautify and nourish everything they touch. Our hopes make us partners in creation, pursuers of peace, people who aspire to a world of justice.
This is the season of awe. When our eyes behold it, may we feel blessed. When we turn toward each other, let us feel strength. When we seek the holy, may we find purpose, may we find courage, may we find love.
Shalom Aleichem on page 14. Before we do this, maybe I should tell you who I am, because there are a lot of you here who don't know me, and some of you who do, but some of you don't. I was an entertainer, so was my husband Bob. We never met up until we came here. I started out in opera and went to musical theater and plays and nightclubs, and then discovered that women could be cantors. And I became a cantor. I was a cantor for 25 years, and then came here in 1994 and was the cantor at the other synagogue down the hall, just conservative, for 18 years. And then I was ordained a rabbi in 2012, and I was their rabbi for 3 years. Then I felt that this community of about 10,000 people could stand, perhaps, an alternative synagogue. And my education has been through the Reform movement primarily, and I call myself a Universalist Jew, which means I don't belong to any movement, and I don't recognize any movement in particular. I think if you're a Jew, you're a Jew. Anyway, I wanted to say that before we do Shalom Aleichem. Welcome the angels that are going to accompany us through this holiday. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Bokem L'Shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Di L'Shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shuvhem L'Shalom, Malchei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech Malchei HaMelachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. On page 15. Tikeu v'chofar, Chagis el yom chagenu, ki chol moon, at the full moon, for our feast day, sound the shofar. For that is the law of Israel, the way of God and of Jacob. I have 3 of these. I have, the first one I got doesn't play that well. The second one I got was one of those kudu things, and that's harder to play. And then I found this one. Hallelujah b'teka shofar.
Tekiah!
Baruch atah Adonai shomea kol teruah, Amo Yisrael berachamim. Page 16. This is sorry. I'll do a little bit of this prayer because it's really quite long, and in traditional settings, the cantor comes in and stops every so often as he's processing forward and kneels and prostrates all the way to the floor. And I've never done that. And I don't know that I'm going to be doing that this year at all, so I'll do a little bit. Hineni ani mimas, נרשת ונבחנת מפחד, יושב תהילות ישראל, באתי לעמוד ולהתחנן לפניך על עמך ישראל, אשר שלחוני. אף על פי שאיני כדאית והגונה לשך, על כן אבקש שך, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק, אלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל, אלוהי לאה. אדוני, אדוני, אל רחום וקנון, אלוהים שדי. I pray to you for success on my path. I pray for myself and my community. Do not hold them responsible for my wrongs and offenses. May my deeds cause them no shame. May their deeds cause me no shame. Come to the call to worship, at which point we usually rise, and in my cyber community here, we rise in spirit. idea the kind of power the rabbi has in doing this. Blessed the Eternal, the Blessed One. Blessed is the Eternal, the Blessed One, now and forever. On page 22, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidbaro ma'ariv aravim, v'chokhmah poteach sha'arim, ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים במשמותיכם ברכיה כרצונו, בורא יום ולילה גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור. ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים תמיד, ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני המריב הרבים. Let's read together at the bottom of page 22. Blessed are you, Adonai. Your great name fills the universe with majestic might. Your word creates twilight and dusk. As your wisdom opens the gates of night, your discernment separates the changing seasons and causes the passage of time. The stars arrayed across the sky reveal your design. You roll out the cycle of darkness and light, shaping day and night. You sweep away day and carry your world into nightfall, setting day apart from nighttime. You are God of all we can perceive and all that is beyond our perception. Living, eternal God, be our sovereign to the end of time. Page 24, Ahvat Olam. Ahvat Olam, Beit Yisrael Amcharta. Torah, Torah u'mitzvot, Torah u'mitzvot, Hukim u'mishpatim otanu limadta. Aken Adonai Eloheinu, b'shobenu u'v'komenu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ועורק ימינו, ובהם לגי יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל הסיר ממנו לעולמים. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim amo Yisrael. Shema. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam. several years ago, when I was learning to chant Torah, I decided to learn what the V'ahavta actually sounded like, because I've heard so many different variations of it. And I also wrote it out musically in the Torah, in the High Holiday trope. So it's not the usual V'ahavta. We're on page 28. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha v'chol nafshecha ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם המזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. You shall love together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Set these words which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. Thus you shall become holy to your God. I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, am your God. Adonai Elohechem emet. Adonai, your God, is true. Bottom of page 32. Let's read together.
Truth and faith. These are fundamental to our existence. God alone is their source, and we are Israel, a people of God. Our sovereign saves us from tyranny, redeems us from its silence through countless wonders, from its brutality through great feats beyond measure. We are Israel, a people of God, the giver of life, who would not let our feet give way, the maker of miracles for us against Pharaoh, of signs and portents in the land of Egypt, the one who brought our people Israel from its midst to enjoy freedom.
The Song of the Sea, when Nachshon took the first step into the sea. My second husband of blessed memory had a question about the Micha Mocha and how it was written and how it was spelled in Hebrew and pronounced. When you put a little dot in the middle of the chaf, it makes it kaf. All of his life, he asked rabbis, and nobody had an answer. He has since passed away, and I found out what the answer was. I actually found a rabbi that had that answer. When we stepped into the sea, the water came up to our necks. So we could say, Micha Mocha, with the ch sound. Then we took another step and the water went a little higher, and we had to lift our necks and go, Mikamocha. Midrash. Not till the second part. Let me know. ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה ומרים ובני ישראל לחנו שירה בשמחה רבה ויאמרו כולם מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורות גבירות עושה פלא מלכותך ראו בנקה וכהיום לפני משה זה נדלענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. And the women dancing to him followed near as she said and the women danced all night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she crafted one with such history. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom, march to the promised land. And the women dancing to him followed Miriam as she sang along. Miriam and why do I screw that up? La 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 la. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Thank you. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We praise you, eternal power, the one who redeemed Israel. Hashkivenu is a cantor's prayer, and it's a beautiful one. It's one we say when we go to sleep at night, actually. But it is also in our evening service. Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim ufros aleinu sukat shalomeka v'tagnenu b'tzat tova milfaneka והושיענו למען שמך
Sleep with peace, Adonai, and awaken us to life when we rise. With power sublime, spread over us your shelter of shalom. And through your wisdom restore us, make us whole. Let your name proclaim your presence in our lives. Be our shield, make us stronger than the enemies we face. Illness and war, famine and sorrow, and stronger than the enemies in our hearts, wickedness and sin. Carry us to safety as on wings. For you are the monarch of grace, the sovereign of compassion. You are the one who cares for us and sets us free. Watch over us, we who go forth to life. Watch over us, that we may come home in peace, now until the end of time.
Page 40, the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitkadash Shemei Be'alma Divra Kirutei Ve'amlik Malkutei Be'chayichon U'yomechon U'chayid Kobid Yisrael Ba'adalam V'zman Karim Ve'imru Amen Yehi Shemei Rabba B'Barak Li'olam U'lam Le'om Naya Yitbarach Yishtabach V'yitpar V'yitramam V'yitnaseh V'yitadam V'yitalem V'yitalal Shemei L'kodeshah B'riku Leila U'leila V'yinko Birkata V'shirata Tushbekata V'nekemata Naviran Be'alma V'imru Amen. Please rise for the Amidah, if you can, and we do this by the wayside. Oh, say shalom b'mromar, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'yidaru. Page 72. Actually, let's read this responsibly. May the Eternal One who blesses all life bless and strengthen all of us who struggle against illness.
May we whose lives are touched by illness be blessed with faith, courage, love, and caring.
May we experience the support and sustenance of family, friends, companions, and community.
May we be granted restful nights and days of comfort. We pray for Rosh, precious moments of healing and a sense of wholeness in the body and soul.
May those who care for the sick with their hands, their voices, and their hearts be blessed with courage and stamina.
May those who pursue healing through better medical knowledge be blessed with insight, patience, and compassion.
May all of us, the sick and the well together, find courage and hope.
Let us say Amen.
And the Mishaberach isn't here in the book, but I think I can do it. Mi shebeirach avotenu mikol habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebeirach imotenu mikol habracha lamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Yavinu Malkeinu. Are we doing that? Wait a minute.
You said you're going to read it first, and then we'll sing.
Okay. And we need to rise for that. It's interesting this year, sometimes Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur land on Shabbat, which can be not the easiest thing in the world. It's, Rosh Hashanah is a 2-day holiday, but it is thought of as one day. They made it longer, they made 2 days into 1 day, the rabbis. I think, partly because it starts on the new moon. And it's probably one of the few holidays that does start directly on the new moon. And of course, Jewish calendar is a lunar calendar. So they were never sure. They had to have 2 witnesses to be able to see the new moon, the very tiny sliver, until the Sanhedrin, and the Sanhedrin would say, okay, then it's the new moon. And they were never quite sure, so they made it into 2 days. I also think that it's 2 days because if Rosh Hashanah lands on a Shabbat, you can't blow the shofar on one of those days, but you can on the other. So, I don't know who to believe. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, en lanu melech ele ata. Avinu Malkeinu, Almighty merciful, you alone are our sovereign. Avinu Malkeinu, for your sake show us mercy. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, bring healing and wholeness to the ill among us. Avinu Malkeinu, allay the harshness of the decree against us. Avinu Malkeinu, inscribe us in the book of redemption and renewal. Avinu Malkeinu, remember our goodness and call it to mind. Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake and save us. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masi, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, V'hoshienu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chanenu Vanenu, Ki ein banu masim, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedaka v'chesed, V'hoshienu. Baruch, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar mikol העם, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו. ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה. את יום הזיכרון הזה, יום תרועה, מקרא קודש זכר ליציאת מצרים. קיוונו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים. ודברך אמת וקיים חסית. ברוך אתה אדוני מלך על כל הארץ, מקדש ישראל ויום הזיכרון. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. אמן. L'chaim. There are three recurring themes presented through these days of awe, and there's a haunting melody that accompanies them. Uteshuvah, utefillah, utzedakah, Ma'avirin ebra hagzera. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. This holiday has several names. Judgment Day is one of them. And next week is Atonement Day. One would wonder why the atonement wasn't before judgment, but it is, and this is what we are facing. We are facing possible death. So the first one of those, teshuvah, return. That's why you're here. If you are present here today, it means that we, all of us, have recognized that we need to make some changes in our behavior. We are human. We are not perfect. We know that we have made mistakes, and we are willing to stand up and ask to turn back from the mistakes. Recognizing that we've made mistakes is the first step in making a change. Even rabbis make mistakes. I make a lot of them, actually. Rosh Hashanah is also called the birthday of the world. It is the anniversary of the creation. And most people think that spring is the season of rebirth, but for Jews, it's now, the beginning of autumn. The month leading up to Rosh Hashanah, the Hebrew month of Elul, is for pious Jews, a month of reflection and introspection. We are asked to look inside ourselves and identify behavior that we need to eradicate. Rosh Hashanah is also seen as Judgment Day. Will we be given a chance to turn around and ask to be forgiven for hurting another's feelings? Or not? For most of us, our behavior is not terrible. We have not murdered. We have not committed adultery. We have not practiced idolatry. Well, or have we? Well, if we have, we know it was wrong, right? I worked for a temple for the deaf several years ago. And it's an interesting thing that they came to. They wanted to be able to sign from their very own prayer book. And it came to the Al-Hate, where we say we're sorry for all the things that we've done. Well, sin is not considered the same thing in Judaism as it is in Christianity. Sin in Judaism is screwing up, basically. Because we're all basically good. We have bad inclinations, we have good inclinations, but most of the time we try to be good. So they had to come up with a sign for sin. And they said, what is sin? Sin is missing the mark. So their sign was this. Pointing an arrow in one direction and then turning it off to the side and shooting. Missing the mark. Okay. Maybe we hurt somebody's feelings. Or we might have talked about somebody behind their back. Or maybe we think some politician is above the law and should be able to continue to allow corruption to poison every facet of government because he is your hero. Guess what? When you hurt someone's feelings, when you listen to or pass on gossip, our sages who wrote the Talmud consider that a form of murder. They actually tested it out so that they could visually see what happens to a person who has been hurt by somebody else. They see the blood drain from the face. Well, what's that? It's death. So that's what they call it. It's a form of murder. And when you allow yourself to be swayed by clever, manipulative people, in a sense, that's a form of idolatry. So turn around and ask the source of all power to turn to you. Even if you've not murdered, or committed adultery, or idolatry, even if the mistake you made was simply walking away from someone whom you thought might need help, an elderly person carrying something heavy, someone who appears to be lost, someone who inadvertently left their lights on in their car. Turn around. Turn around and help them. Tshuva, returning, at Rosh Hashanah, means literally returning to yourself. See your behavior and return to the person you are meant to be. Some rabbis have even said, return to the child inside you. Return to the pure innocence you had when you were a child. Return to yourself. Shana Torah U'Mituka. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ובונים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ וחום ימך ומים ממעם ושכינה דזו בגובה מרומים.
May the time not be distant, our God, when all shall turn to you in love, and when corruption and evil shall give way to integrity and goodness, when lies and bigotry shall no longer enslave the mind, nor idolatry blind the eye. So may all, created in your image, become one in spirit and one in friendship, forever united in your service. Then shall your realm be established on earth, and the word of your prophet fulfilled. Adonai will reign forever and ever.
Light of life is a finite flame. Like our sacred candles, life is kindled, it burns, it glows, it is radiant with warmth and beauty. But soon it fades. Its substance is consumed, and it is no more. In light we see, in light we are seen. The flames dance and our lives are full, but as night follows day, the candle of our life burns down and gutters. There is an end to the flames. We see no more, and there are no more seen. Yet we do not despair, for we are more than a memory, slowly fading into the darkness. With our lives we give life. Something of us can never die. We move in the eternal cycle of darkness and death, of light and life. If you are observing outside this evening or in mourning, please join me with the Mourner's Kaddish. If you wish to say Kaddish, for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, please join me. Yid Gadal v'Yid Kadash, Shnei Rabbah, Be'amad Yivarach Yudeh, Be'amich Malchuteh, V'chai Yechon Yom Yechon, V'chai Yedekun Beit Yisrael, V'amala V'yizman Kali, V'imru Amen. Yehi Shnei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam Alam Me'anai, Yitbarach V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, V'yit'olam, V'yit'nasei, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalav, Shnei Kudisha, Berichu. La'ela, La'ela, min kol birchata v'shirata, v'tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiru be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom v'homal, hu ya'asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Adon olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra le'ed nasa v'hefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kichlot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hover ve'hu yiyeh v'kvit Ara ve'hu echad ve'en sheni le'hamshir lo le'achvira v'li reshit v'li tachlit ve'lo ha'oz ve'hamizrah yado avkir ruchi ve'nisham ve'ayira ve'imruhi gediati Adonai Elo Yira. Lashana Tova.
Lashana Tova.